Hello, welcome back to Nikki's Corner. I have a question. Have you ever put deodorant on and then put a shirt on and then have the marks that go all down the side like a zebra and then you're like, and then you go and you have to wipe it all down? So I do that all the time and I've just decided to call it the Nikki Special because some people, buy something and then do their own little thing to it. And this is free and easy. And it could have been a black shirt, but now it's a zebra print. And I did it so fast. But you know what? You know when the Nikki Special doesn't happen? In a naturist world. Because I just put my deodorant on and then I don't put a shirt on. And then there's no problem. Yay. And so I'm here to talk about the latest post that I did, which is about, my title honestly was like a bit of a teaser. I know some of you actually, I think believed it too, even though I did a little disclaimer at the top of like, this is a story, it's not real, about non-landed naturists finding a new home, question mark. So life update, in case you didn't know, I'm going through separation with my husband, and I've decided that I would like to move to Alberta. I was there a couple months ago and I felt really alive there. It was always my intention to move back to the mountains ever since I was a teenager and lived out there with my aunt. Yeah, and people keep saying like, why Alberta? Like I was just drawn. I don't know. So there's lots of things I'm excited about moving there. One thing that I'm not sure about is the fact that they have only non-landed naturist groups. So they have the Calgary Nude Recreation Group, which I have become a member of, and I'm excited to be involved in their stuff. In the summertime, they do certain things outside. I know they have something going on in Banff coming up soon, unless it happened already. Sometime, it's like late August, which sounds awesome. I wish I could be there. And apparently there's like some secluded areas that they can go and hang out, beaches and whatnot. But otherwise, it seems like it's once a month they get together. I don't know if it's a community center, but it says on their events that it's gym and swim. So, I mean, we have non-landed groups here in Ontario that do that kind of thing too, organized swims. And I think that I'm realizing how much I've taken it for granted that I have had Bare Oaks here in Ontario as a community for as long as I have. I'm 41 now, or in a couple weeks, 41. And I got started going there when I was 21, I think. Anyway, something like that, long time ago, 20 years at least. And when I was going there frequently, I lived 15 minutes away, and now I moved close to the city, and now it's about a 45-minute drive. And you know what's interesting? I moved here and I didn't know anybody, and it made me long for a sense of community, a place that everybody knew me, kind of like Cheers. Sometimes you want to go. So I find myself traveling up there, taking the longer drive to be somewhere where people know me, and that feels nice. And I can be outside, and I feel you can be outside in the parks, but you get it. When you've been in a naturist lifestyle and a community, you might have lots not in common with the other people that are around you, but the fact that you're all naturists, it just kind of like brings you together. And yeah, so I have had that for a really long time, and I love that it's also been a place for me to practice random things. Like I decided that I wanted to try running trivia nights, and so I've been running those once a month for the past few months. A writing circle. I feel like anywhere else, like in my community here in the city, if I was to go somewhere like to a community center and say, hi, I would like to run a writing circle just for fun, they'd probably ask me what kind of credentials that I have. Like, well, what kind of writing things have you done in university? None. But at Bare Oaks, they're like, oh, yay, somebody's interested in doing something and doing an amenity here for people to participate in. Like, let's do it. So I've had an opportunity to just anything that I want to try, it's like this amazing stage, and I have taken advantage of that in lots of different ways. And I love that. And now I'm going somewhere that doesn't have that. And so I found myself wondering how I can be involved, if there's an interest in expanding the naturist stuff in Calgary. I know, or it's my understanding anyway, that Alberta is one of the more conservative provinces. So, yeah, it kind of makes me wonder too, because I have my website, Invite the Calm. There was a time that I kept my naturist stuff completely separate. I called it Guide to the Natural Self, and it was a whole other website. And then I had Invite the Calm, that was like me doing the yoga and everything else that was textiled. And I had it separate like that for a long time, mostly because I was interested in getting corporate gigs. And I thought, well, if a business stumbles upon my site and sees me nude doing yoga, that might not be like we better hire her to run lunchtime yoga or something like that. So I kept it separate. And then, despite my best efforts, I wasn't getting a lot of corporate gigs, but I was getting a lot of interest for naturist stuff. So I thought, let's just lean in and make it all one thing. And so as soon as you log into my site, invitethecalm.com, it's very obvious about what it's about. It's a naturist lifestyle. And I find myself wondering, I wonder how that's going to go in Calgary. I wonder, maybe it's a great thing because maybe I'll be the only one. Would I be the only one? I don't know if they have any other naked yoga instructors there or not. So maybe that's a good thing. Or maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know. So there's a lot of question marks. So anyways, I found myself writing the latest post that I did because I thought, instead of renting, which is what I'm going to do in the end, I was like, I wonder what it's like to buy something. I wonder if there's something that's in some remote location that I could actually afford and turn into kind of a naturist retreat that could be like a permanent location for naturist stuff to happen. So we don't have to rent a place or something like that, and make sure that we're good with the people there. And, we could just have like this place that you could always, basically like a Bare Oaks, but except that, I know I don't have enough money to run, buy 50 acres of land or anything like that, but just, a little start or something. And so I found this little place, and that's basically what my story was about, is that if I had gone that route and actually bought it, because I could actually afford it, and I spent an entire day just imagining what I would do with it and how I would promote it and all that kind of thing. And then we brought it to Writing Circle, and we had one of those writing prompts that, like, it starts with this and it ends with this. And somebody suggested that it starts with eggs and ends with sand. And so I wanted to write about the house that I almost bought. So I just fit it in. I made it start with eggs, end with sand. And then I wrote about what it would have been like maybe if I had purchased the place. Lots of question marks there too. I have since found a location that's for rent that I thought could get this, and it primarily would be a yoga studio. And I was getting very excited about running events there. And there's 2 bedrooms, and I was like, I'll just do one as a bedroom and one as a living room. And then it's basically have like my teeny tiny living space, but have most of it as this like event center that I could have. And that person is just not getting back to me. I'm not having very much luck for people getting back to me for whatever reason for the rentals. I think because I'm not actually going to Calgary for a little while. They're like, well, I'll probably get it rented to someone else. Anyway, getting into a lot of details here. But yeah, so I've just been trying to decide, like, how am I going to be a part of a naturist community? Because I've been a big part of the naturist community at Bare Oaks. And I feel like even in the city of Toronto, like, people know who I am. So it's weird to go to a place, you know what, maybe I'll just like kind of take a back seat for a little while. I don't need to always be like the person running things, I guess. I could just let people show me what they do and then take it from there. So yeah, I don't know if you've ever had that kind of situation before yourself. I would love to open this up into a bit of a chat to see if you've ever gone from a place where you've had a landed place and then moved to a non-landed and what that's like, or vice versa. And certainly, I mean, I had no idea how lucky I had it years ago when I only lived 15 minutes away from Bear Oaks. I really took it for granted. Because there are some people who go to Bear Oaks on a very regular basis and drive from London, which is a 3-hour drive when you're driving quick. So, I mean, and this weekend there's the FCN Festival, the Federation of Canadian Naturists is being held there, which to some people is like a huge event, and people come from all over the place to go to that kind of thing. And we just were like, oh, it's the FCN Festival happening. But it's like a really big deal to some people. So it's funny, I feel like the further away that I get from the landed naturist place, the more I realize how important it was to me. So that's interesting. And speaking of the zebra effect with the deodorant, it was leading somewhere. It wasn't just random. I realize that despite having access to Bear Oaks regularly, I still have kind of a textile mind that, as in like, I shower in the morning and then I'm like, what am I going to wear today? And I'm finding this strong desire to not do that anymore. I think almost like brain fog. Like I feel like I have more important things to do. Like they have some people, famous people who always wear the same thing. I'm kind of like that, except I don't want to wear anything. And that's my same thing. I come out of the shower and I'm just like looking at my clothes in the closet. And I mean, I've got lovely clothes, but I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just home. And then at some point I'm going to go for a walk. And I spend just so much time just staring at the clothes. I'm like, ridiculous. Let's just put a towel down on the chair and then just like call it a day. We can pull the blinds so the neighbors can't see, whatever. So it's interesting. Things are starting to shift for me a little bit, and I'm sure that's natural. To go through all different, like to be like crazy obsessed and then be like, man, that's not a big deal and whatever. And also, I'm almost afraid to say this because I know what it's like to be a female in the naturist community. I've always been attached. That being said, the person that I was with was, my husband has never been interested in trying naturism. So anyway, now we're not together anymore. And not that I'm looking for anybody. Not that I'm looking for anybody. So don't respond in that way, please. It's going to take a while. But when I do eventually get there, I wonder how that's going to go. Because it certainly will be something that I bring up fairly quickly, I assume. But I even know how that goes sometimes. People just make all kinds of assumptions, don't they? They're like, oh, nakedness, she's obviously like... It's just like create all this like, no, but you don't know me actually. Let me help you. And I don't know, it'll be interesting. So anyway, life update. And that's what my post was about. And yeah, I would like to start a bit of a chat with you guys. So here's the latest from me. Have yourselves a lovely rest of the day.